Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to another episode of World of Horror. We gotta move like quick because you know, the impending doom, 100% doom incoming. Okay, Aiko, like I'm sorry if you're not immediately I'm sorry if you're not into this, but the world is about to end if the World of Horror episode doesn't get released. So you're gonna have to, wake up, Aiko. It's 2 p.m., time to save the world again. Dexterity, knowledge, second enemy, and second mystery. So, bottom left, top right, Takashi, and then remember your seconds. So, this one, I was actually, you'll never believe this, I was actually trying to record Multiply Wound. That's pretty good. That's Multiply Wound, but again, I was legitimately... That's pretty lucky. I was legitimately gonna try to record this one a bit earlier in the day, but I decided to play Eureka, because, I mean, I'm on that Eureka grind, and now I'm on Kugane Savage. I had always heard... It was actually really, really funny. I had always heard of the jumping puzzle, and my friend had no idea what it was. You know, she couldn't tell me. And I was just kind of hanging out in Kugane after a Eureka instance. And I was like, I wonder where you start the jumping puzzle. And I was looking literally right at it, but I didn't notice it because I thought it was just architecture. And then when I pull up the video, I see the guy jumping onto the first, jump. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, isn't that literally right there in front of my screen, in front of my eyeballs? And I was like, oh. And so I just ran up to it, and then I started, and it started out pretty great. I was never really good at 3D platformers, but I'll be real with you. There's only... Okay, that's gonna make... That's gonna make our knowledge life pretty hard, because it was dexterity and knowledge, right? But essentially, it was pretty... Well, it started off pretty okay, alright? It didn't start off bad. I should have checked the threat level before I started doing this. It's dangerous. Well, I mean, we did just get -3 doom, so I can't complain too much. That's okay. That's a decent, 2 investigation side quest there. I mean, really, when you get -3 doom, you're pretty happy regardless, but 6 reasons kinda sketchy. And this is, this is actually not a bad first fight, and I'll explain why. Well, I mean, how much have you ever lost in a coin toss, etc., etc.? So that's a lot, but, we can just do this, so it's fine. As long as we hit one of those, we would kill on the second turn, so that's nice. And we'll risk it. We'll risk it for the biscuit, alright? We'll check the threat level real quick. I'll do Peace of Mind, because we got minus... It's safe. That's not a big deal. That's not huge. But, yeah, no, so... I'm doing Kugane Savage, and it started off pretty well. It didn't, I know, well, because it's kind of it's a more analog thing, right? If you jump without moving, you will jump in the air, and you cannot move in the air until you fall. If you're running, and then you jump, you will go a certain distance, and then if you're running and you jump, and then you let go, then you'll go a certain distance, so... It's pretty easy to figure out, and there's some weird tech that you can do, where the moment you land on the ground, you can control instantly which direction your character moves in. So you can jump onto a ledge that if you were walking would send you immediately careening off to your certain death. But because you can immediately turn on a dime, you jump, aim the camera at the wall, and then you hold, well, for me it's left mouse button and right mouse button. You hold both of those in, and then your character will snap to the wall, which is pretty helpful. Hopefully we don't get burned. We shouldn't. Yeah, Tataru just flies closer. But yeah, no, it's... Kugane Savage is rough. Once you get up to, I would say, the... like, I don't know how close I am, right? Like, I don't know where my wall is, so to speak, if that's other people's wall, but it's basically you have to jump up a few wooden platforms, which is easy. The hard part is that you have to somehow jump in like an L shape, if that makes sense. Like, you're hanging off the edge, and then you have to jump to like a squared corner, but there's like an invisible wall just enough to where it's not an easy jump, and so you kind of like jump around it, and it's really awkward. Like, I don't know, like, maybe if you sprint, you could make it to the other corner, and that's what they want you to do, but I genuinely don't know. With that being said, I mean, we got, like, nothing to... I mean, we got boss fight after boss fight, so we'll go ahead and take, We will do Coma here, because, I mean, it is 2 investigations in a safe location to get... I mean, we would like a Sphinx, we would like a Katana. There's a lot of things that the game could do for us right now. But low threat level Sphinx, you love to see it. There's not any particular difference between high threat level Sphinx and low threat level Sphinx. It's just low threat level investigation. I mean, we'll just turn around, right? 2% Doom. It's not a big deal. I actually didn't really remember what that did, but I know that if we fail the knowledge check, it's reason, and it's like, you know, don't want to fail that right now. So hold on, can we do 70-70? We can? That's pretty good. Like, that's... Don't ever talk to me again. That's, you know, obviously an extreme reaction and a joke. Hopefully that's pretty obvious that that's a joke, but that's pretty disgusting. So we take those, and then we get horribly punished for it. We will chat, and then we will fail the check to get +1 reason. This is not must find a way to sneak through. This is something completely different. And then we're gonna go back and forth a couple of times between the downtown and the hospital. But, I mean, I think the run is so far going alright. We look these? We look these? Oh, hello there, dog. What are you doing? She was over in one part of the blanket, but now she's going over to another part of the blanket. I guess that part's better. But, yeah, so the reason why this one's late is I've actually had to try to record this a couple of times, because I've had, like, a few Emmerdales here, a few Emmerdales there, and it never really... Like, I'll accept, like, if the episode's, like, an hour long, I'll accept, like, 2 to 3 Emmerdales. If the episode is, like, you know, 7 minutes long, and it would have 3 Emmerdales, that's unacceptable, right? So, you just gotta start over from scratch, and it's pretty, like, admittedly, it's kind of why I'm a little bit like, do we have the lighthouse correct? Because I've tried to record a few times, and I constantly make this mistake where I don't try to... I don't try to make the runs unique. It's like I decide we're gonna do the Shiba color palette, and then I'll do, like, the start of 3 Aiko runs with the Shiba color palette, and then it's like, oh god, which is which? But I'm pretty sure we got it right this time. Can we just, so Doll Nurse, we can just attack her regularly, and so we'll make off with some loot. I also do apologize for any background noises. Zeus is going ham right now, so, you know, it is, like, it is what it is. But, so, the main reason why this episode is late, though, is because for, I don't know if you know this little game, the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV, and its, award-winning Heavensward expansion pack that you can play for free up until level 60. Yeah, I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know, but the award-winning, critically acclaimed, but basically, a while ago, they had, like, a pre-order for a cookbook. and I pre-ordered the cookbook. And yeah, no, it came in today, and that's really cool. So we're gonna get, you wanna get crazy? Let's get crazy. So it came in today, and that's really dope. And we, no, hold on. Because of the, wait, did the dog just leave? Okay, good. That's Fetid Fury, that's Arcane Storm, Aurora Borealis? In this time of year? Localized entirely above your lighthouse? May I see it? No. Oh yeah, contaminated water, the first thing we got. That's true, that is correct. That's real and true. And we can just discard a couple branches immediately. Like, that's what I picked him up for. From Doll Nurse. For those of you who don't know, Doll Nurse and Burning Man allow you to take as many actions as you'd like before you take a hostile action. And for some reason, throwing weapons do not count as a hostile action. So you can infinitely loot. That's a shame. You can infinitely loot, and you can infinitely throw at them. And, you know, it's helping them clean up the hospital slash local beach, right? So, no, we can't do that because then we would, I was gonna say how much have you ever lost on a coin toss, but, I would actually just rather not lose on a coin toss. It's an 80% chance. Like, is there anything better that we can do? Like, this is gonna do... I mean, that's gonna do, like, 15 damage, right? So if we just throw the branch, we're good. So it just works. Yeah, wait, what? Why did it do 16? The monkey wrench is weird. Like, it's not, like the fire axe is genuinely established as doing more damage from a strong attack than other weapons. And so that's why when you desperation with it, you're gonna do a lot more damage. The monkey wrench does not have that effect. The monkey wrench has the normal rule of base damage is your basic attack, +2 is your heavy attack. So why does it round up like that? I got no idea, brother. We could die. Like, we could die. We could die. It's unlikely, but with Ithutsu, we could die. Now, we can live these once, but why would we do that when we could... So this should do 11, but if we're in this weird rounding up meta, then it would do 12, and 2 of these would kill. But I don't trust that. So what we're gonna do is we are going to brace for impact. We are going to desperation and hopefully hit once. Can we do that? No. Maybe? 60%? I don't know how happy I am with that. Like, how about we do this? We brace for impact. We guarantee he goes down to 18. Then we throw the branch at him and then kill him. Does it just work? It just works? I mean, if it just works for you, it just works for me. But yeah, so I went to go pick up some ingredients for the Final Fantasy XIV cookbook, and I want to make the X potion. That's the first goal. Because we were talking about it on the podcast a little bit, but basically, like, this is doomed. We could die. Oh my god. Also, hold on. Who was our second enemy? It was Doll Nurse, right? Was it Doll Nurse? We fought a lot of people. I was not paying attention at all. And it was Coma, which was our second mystery. Let's remember that. But I have no idea. I'm gonna guess Doll Nurse, but I think it might have been like someone else. We'll think of that when we get there. But remember, Contagious Coma. That's gonna be on the test later. But yeah, no, I was just picking up some stuff for the X potion, and here we are in eyebrow threat range. The old gods are rising. We must complete the ritual, or we will keel over and die. Now he has terrible. Oh, come on, man! It's a 90% chance. It's a 90% chance. Like we gotta, right? We gotta. Let's go. I was scared for a second there. If we somehow fight it. We fought, like, almost 5 enemies. We are gonna fight 5 enemies in one... Like, that's absurd. Perception check, let's go. Oh, you know, -2 reason. -2 stamina. That's, so it's really -1 stamina, because then it would be... Kinda awkward, kinda awkward. Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We should have probably taken Fast Swimmer, but that's okay. Don't need it. Hot Bath is the only thing that you need to counteract fetid fumes, right? That's Arcane Storm, even better. That's actually huge. That's really good. So we'll do, yeah, we'll do Abnormal Arms for now. But listen, can I just tell you how much of a freaking nightmare Pagos is? So, this is about the critically acclaimed game. So, you can tune out, like, you can no thoughts, head empty this part if you don't like it, but you can no thoughts, head empty now. This can be background noise, you have my permission. Sorry, I can't even finish that sentence with a straight face. You know, basically, it's this side content that is very grindy, right? Like, you go into Eureka because you want to... I mean, essentially, you go into Eureka because you want to get cool stuff that looks cool that many people won't have because it's... Not only is it difficult, but it's also grindy, right? Like, it's challenging and difficult, which makes it annoying. And a lot of people aren't going to put up with it, and a lot of people probably shouldn't put up with it because it's not very, like... If you're doing it solo, it's not very fun, and I'm probably only having fun because I'm making a lot of progress, and you want to know why I'm making a lot of progress? Because I had a friend give me, like, a bunch of potions that give me EXP up. And I am foregoing the, like, 200,000 gil armor that makes leveling up easier. But, I mean, sure, why not? We succeeded the luck check to gain +1 stamina, and then our hard work pays off to also give us +1 stamina. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like, it really do just be a grind. And here's the thing, the first one, I believe it's called Anemos. So there's Anemos, Pagos, and Hydratos. So Anemos is fun. Like, it's this, like, I wouldn't say jungle, but like this enchanted forest, and that's doing it a disservice, because the, like, landscape is absolutely wild. It's one of the most beautiful areas in the game. It genuinely is a treat to explore. And it's like the only part in the game where they're like, hey, you don't get quest objective markers here. If you want to progress, talk to other players. Which I think is how much have you lost to the coin toss, etc., etc. I think is really cool. Because, yeah, it's kind of like... Okay, fine. It's kind of like a guide, alright. But at the same time, it's kinda not... Oh, crap. That is not what I wanted to do. That's not what I thought would happen. It's fine. Nope, stop talking, go to jail. Fast swimmer? No fast swimmer. Running shoes could potentially be interesting. We're not going to the mansion ever again, so, I mean, we might as well, right? I mean, like, we're gonna... probably just hot bath, so I'm not particularly worried about our stats. I think we easily win these. Like, we still don't have fetid fumes, so, like, who cares? But, so, like, Anemos is really cool. It's really fun to run around. The enemies are, admittedly, like, reskins, and they use animation sets that you may or may not be familiar with. Like, one of the coffin bros, who's like this mummy with giant coffins on his arms, he has the, like, monk animation set. And so, he'll, like, his basic attack is just him, like, punching you extremely fast, and it's hilarious, because the animation set does not fit him at all. But the enemies are cool. Well, that's a bummer. The enemies are cool. And, oh, who cares? Hunger this, hunger that. The enemies are cool, the environments are beautiful, and they have these interesting things called notorious monsters, which are basically, like, field bosses. They're like monsters that spawn on the field, but they exist entirely on a system of setting them up and prepping for them. Bruh, let's do it. We've gotten the Ithutu thing recently, so we'll take a ride. That's fine. 84% Doom. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to rest a few times, but we'll see what we can't do here in the monument. If we can give money, that'd be fantastic. Gonna be real with you, Chief. We're gonna have to we're gonna do that one over again. Beautiful. And now we have enough to win, for sure. And we're at full health, so that's really cool. But yeah, we have enough to win here. Like, 87% Doom goes down to, like, we might not even need the Akamanto mask, which is kind of funny. Escape the bathroom, but we can't escape this bathroom. Use this, like, I don't even care. We're just using it immediately. 100% hit chance flat, you love to see it. We can do 24 damage in a turn. We can't get there unless, I mean, that's not gonna do 4, is it? No, it's gonna do 3, right? So we are gonna have to, because we don't have an ally that we can send, so we're gonna have to take 2 damage, which is kind of a bummer, but it's fine. Yeah, we win these relatively easily. We only need the Akamanto mask in the situation that we forget our second enemy and second mystery, but we do have Coma there, so we should be relatively fine. Like, we're gonna take -3 stamina damage, which is, I'll just go ahead and take that there. And literally none of those are gonna help us in any way, so we'll just take luck, because always lucky, never punished, and then we'll win. But the only, like, just to kind of cap off the Final Fantasy rant, so Anemos is fun, and it has this cool system where you have to kill specific monsters so you can get notorious monsters to spawn, which is pretty much the only real way of leveling up. Like, if anybody tells you to just grind the mobs, you should only be grinding mobs for your challenge log. That's it. Once you're done with the challenge log, you know, I need like 1,000,000 EXP to level up. Killing just like some random monster gives me like 1,000, okay? Like, it's not a viable thing to do. And some of them, like, yeah, they can give you 20,000, but that's still, like, what would you rather do? Team up with a bunch of people to quickly kill, like, 50 enemies, and then spawn something that's gonna give you, like, 400,000 EXP? Or would you like to be alone because everybody in the instance is way higher level than you, and you can't party up with people who are 2 levels higher than you, or you won't get EXP? And would you like to just get, like, it'll take you like a minute to kill every enemy, and you can only take on 1 enemy at a time. So, like, yeah, if you get into a party of low-level people who are doing, like, low-level leveling, then that is a legitimate thing, but when, like, for me, Pagos has not been very popular at all. Right? Like, Anemos is packed, like, you've always got people trying to kill Pazuzu, but, you know, unless there's Crab or Luigi, like, unless people are spamming Crab in shout chat, then, I mean, there's, like, you got nothing, man. Like, it's been hard to even get reses. Now, thankfully, I don't die that often, because I'm a white mage, and I play pretty safe, but, hell yeah, let's just do this. And I do play pretty safe. But, like, when somebody goes down in Pagos, like, I'm usually the one, at least in Coral, or, well, I suppose it would be the Crystal Eureka instances, I'm usually the one running for them, right? And there was this one guy, this one poor guy, who he kept dying at the exact same spot, like, over and... Oh, wait, hold on. Would it be Tataru? Yeah, it would be Tataru, right? Yeah, let's go. We don't have to use the thingamabob after all, maybe. We probably do. Is this the final one? If this is the final one, we're fine, but, Is Coma? Yo, let's go! Aiko keeps her face. Your discipline and your hard work pays off. Right, like, a lot of people die in Pagos, because Pagos has this really annoying thing, where there's, like, the peasant area, where I was for, like, several hours of grinding, that were so bad. Because I do not understand this at all, right? You have, when you first get to Pagos, it is a, like, you need to go to Pagos when you unlock it, because, like, Anemos will give you, like, no EXP, comparatively speaking. But in Pagos, it's like, every enemy will kick your ass, and the notorious monsters that you can fight, and I mean, you should be going to every notorious monster you can, because that's the only way to get legitimate EXP as a solo person who's progressing largely alone. And the thing is, it's like these notorious monsters are surrounded by monsters that will one-shot you, which is not how, I guess, like, Anemos kind of worked like that, but not really, right? Like, the only thing I can think of is trying to get to Bazuzu is a nightmare, but for Pagos, it's like, oh yeah, you gotta go through the freaking, like, level cap is level 35, by the way. And it's like, oh, in order to get to Luigi, you have to run through, like, a field of level 36 plus enemies, and then take a drop that leaves you at 1 HP, and oh, by the way, there are multiple drops you can take, and it's slippery, so you might fall off into a different area. And if you fall off into a different area, then you're gonna be alone, because nobody followed you, because everybody wants to get to Luigi. And, I mean, like, I have seen, like, thankfully it hasn't happened to me. Has this ever happened to you? Call me, please. But, like, there was a guy, or, like, a person, I don't know if they're a guy or not, but there was a person who, essentially, they were trying to get to Crab, which is the most valuable fate, or notorious monster, in Pagos, because you can get Speed Belt, which is worth 20 million gil, which is, like, half, almost half, of a good house. And people go nuts for Crab. Like, nobody will wait, right? Like, typically speaking, if there's a notorious monster that activates, people will wait for other people to get it. But because the Speed Belt is such a low drop rate, it's just kind of, like, generally understood by everybody that the moment Crab spawns, Crab needs to die, because there's a timer on every notorious monster, and that timer starts ticking down when they die. So you kill Crab immediately so that Crab can come back as soon as possible, so that you can get multiple Crab attempts in one instance. And, like, there's this person trying to get to Crab, and they died, like, on their route to Crab, like 30 seconds before Crab was gonna spawn, and nobody would go revive them, because nobody wanted to lose Crab. Like, they were like, and, like, that's just kinda, that Pagos is cutthroat. Like, here's the thing, Luigi, the progression, like, final boss, people waited for, like, 6 minutes, because, like, yeah, it's fine, like, you want everybody to be able to progress through the game, but when it comes to something like Speed Belt, when Crab spawns, Crab needs to die. Like, Crab spawns, and if you don't get to Crab within, like, 30 seconds, you're done. Like, you're not gonna be able to hit Crab and get the Speed Belt, so potentially it's a very rare drop. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're all staying safe out there. Have a good one. I do need to get this episode uploaded before my eyebrows are forfeit. But, you know, Pagos is, like, in the Pagos is insane, and I am almost level 32. I am going to probably do the rest of the grinding tonight. I don't know yet, and hopefully I'm gonna get to Hydratos soon, because I do not want to be in Pagos for any longer. Like, there are just drops that lead you to nowhere, and you just have to, like, walk back or teleport back. It's painful.